This is Chuck Martin at the AI Summit, and we're here at the NetApp booth. Welcome.
Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Martin Jezequel from PNY Technologies.
Hello, nice to meet you. Stephane Arnuado from NetApp.
So tell me, what does NetApp do here?
So NetApp is doing here because, as we can see with a lot of people today, AI has definitely moved from testing environment to execution and implementation. And as we fuel data for many of the companies, we want to explain how we can bring benefits finally to many of our customers while they are going through some of the challenges that they need to implement, develop, and work on all their AI projects.
And your companies are working together?
Yes, definitely, yes. So it's a thrilling moment for us because we just launched a new partnership with NetApp. So as PNY, we are an AI solutions provider, and we work with big partners in the AI world, such as NVIDIA, for example, NVIDIA networking on compute and deep learning. So, and now we are working with NetApp for the storage part, because you need to, when you're doing deep learning, you need fast storage servers to accelerate your data, whether it's on manufacturing, healthcare, HPC, etc. So we work with NetApp to provide this kind of solutions.
So in NetApp, you have a simulator here. Tell me about that.
Well, the simulator is part of our partnership with Cognizant and Aston Martin, as we're working with them on a broad scale, and typically also helping on all those data that they need to work on every weekend when they have Grand Prix. So that's the partnership we have these days, and that's where you can see that data is very important, and you need, first of all, to inference them and get them, and then you need to be sure that you will work on them and deploy new models to improve finally the performance that you try to have on the track on a regular basis.
So the simulator, people are lined up to get behind the wheel of this car. Tell me about that.
Well, at least I think that's the best way to be sure that, we'll go from having people joining us today to explaining what we can do and giving details around the solutions. As Martin said, we are trying today to work very closely and have reference architectures and fully implemented solutions that you can easily deploy. And that's the best way finally to have a chance to talk with people.
Right, this is a busy booth.
Yes, very busy. It's a very interesting attraction. So.
So what do you tell people when they come here? What are they asking you about?
Well, they want to know, so as a distributor for this kind of solutions, they want to know what's the best to build a model. We are working with all different kind of businesses, like healthcare or manufacturing or car improvements, and they want to know what can they buy. They want advice on what type of products they can buy to build their AI models, and that's where we are, because we not only distribute, we are expert on that, and we can make the installations all over the world of the best solutions of the market. So NVIDIA DGX, from the small pods of DGXs to the big data centers for AI, for natural language processing or HPC. Yeah.
So how did you pick Aston Martin?
Sorry?
How did you pick Aston Martin?
Well, that's part of the regular conversations we can probably have as customers discussing it, and that's where we could get through that rebranding, I would say, of Aston Martin. That was a good way to partner with them, and as mentioned, we want to be sure that that partnership goes beyond just, let's say, the simulators that we have here, but really like how we work and help them through their way of rebuilding that brand and being the nice Aston Martin champions with Cognizant.
Well, you're drawing the crowd waiting in line to get behind the simulator. So tell me a little bit more about NetApp.
Well, NetApp is a cloud-led, data-centric software company, and we provide finally a lot of services to help customers working with infrastructure and moving to the different clouds as they try to improve infrastructure. And that's why, by the way, we are here today, because we want to be sure that we can bring value to data scientists that in some cases don't know how to manage the infrastructure to really work on their own work. And we also want to be sure that we have IT finally to provide the right performance, the right systems, and the right tools to be sure that data scientists within these organizations will work together.
So what kind of companies do you typically work with?
Well, I would say that we're working with many different companies and in many different verticals. But if I specifically look at AI and analytics these days, we are really working with manufacturing, healthcare, life sciences, FSI, a lot of governments, and more research centers too. So very difficult to give you a few names because we have the chance to target quite a lot of companies these days.
So what kind of things are businesses asking you for these days?
The biggest one is really to simplify things because as we regularly see, people really want these days to move from experiment to production. And one of the ways to do that is be sure that they can stay focused because they will have a simplification regarding infrastructures, the tools that they can use. And we do that through partnership too. We're working with people like NVIDIA to get validated architecture, fully integrated solutions. And that's why, just to drop a few names, that we can have things like ONTAP AI or DGX Foundry or Superpod with NetApp, just to be sure that we can help finally those customers to move through their AI journey.
So are companies moving finally beyond proof of concept into scale?
Yeah, they can really move at scale and probably also move their data depending on how they work. You have many companies these days that will begin in the cloud and suddenly they consider that they are mature enough to do it differently, but they look at the cost. And for some of them, strange enough, they will come back on-prem. And we are able to help them to move the data easily from one place to the other way around, just to be sure that it's once again easy for them to work on developing the new models, bringing new services, and be sure that at the end, AI is very useful for the company.
So do companies ultimately say, at some point they say, we need a solution, and that's when you come around?
So we have partners to help them getting that message, but yes, that's the thing. They usually come and say, now we want the solution to be sure that we can begin, we can test, we can improve, or we can really scale. And that's where we can bring the solution because we can really be at every steps here, from the beginning to the powerful super HPC systems that you will need.
So moving out of the pandemic, do you see that companies are acting differently or the same or faster or slower?
At least they definitely consider that data is very important for them and they act probably faster to develop things. The difficulty there, and with many conversations I can have these days with companies, is that the difficulty is to find the people. So it's still more and more difficult to get enough data scientists to bring enough people within the company to develop. And that's why, in a way, we are back again because we say, okay, so just for sure just to be sure that when people have a project, they will not wait for data, they will not wait for systems to be in place. We provide that infrastructure you will easily work with, and then you have the people that work on the projects.
So anything that I didn't ask that I should have?
No, that's very nice and very kind of you. Just thank you again for the opportunity.
Thank you. Good luck here at the AI Summit, London. So you're really in a partnership. What does that mean? What does that look like?
Yes, it's a big partnership for us that we just launched 3 months ago with NetApp. So we are PNY, we are AI solution provider based in Bordeaux. I mean, it's an American company based in the US, but our headquarters for EMEA are based in Bordeaux in France, and we manage all the EMEA area. And this partnership is really important because we already distribute AI solutions on the compute side. We are also a big partner of NVIDIA, and we distribute their pods and superpods for deep learning applications. And this partnership really completes our portfolio because we now have compute networking with NVIDIA networking, and now NetApp for AI storage, because to make some deep learning applications, like for example NLP, healthcare, research on genomics, etc., you can have all the power of calculation you want, but if you don't have the storage to run that, it's useless. So NetApp storage really accelerates the data and really dedicated to AI, and yeah, that's why we're excited.
So you've integrated NVIDIA in your technology, in your platform?
Yeah, we've been a distributor of NVIDIA, a big, strong partner of NVIDIA over like 20 years. We started with a GPUs, for graphic solutions, for gaming, etc. And NVIDIA really moved on this AI world a few years ago now, and this is really thrilling for us, and we see a lot of interest on that show, in this event on AI.
So you got to ride with NVIDIA.
Sorry?
You got to ride with the NVIDIA wave.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a bit of a luxury to have this kind of partner. NVIDIA has really cutting-edge solutions on AI, and they are the best in the world, and we have their best products. So we are really proud to distribute them. And now with NetApp, we have this full package. And at PNY, we're just not moving boxes. We have this expertise. We can install. We can draw the bill of materials for customers when they want to build big data centers for AI. I mean, we have this, we can advise them, make the installation, etc. So, yeah.
Well, good luck. This is the AI Summit in London.